This week I've been driving the recently updated Hyundai Venue Elite with my family of 3. It's as cute as a button with its compact SUV styling, but it does face off against similar rivals like the Mazda CX-3 and Toyota Yaris Cross. So what else does it have going for it? Stay watching to find out. Even though the Elite is top of the line for the Venue lineup, it costs just $28,500 before on-road costs. And it was really nice to see a price tag slide in under $30K. That puts it on par with the Mazda, but $4,500 cheaper than the Toyota. It's compact, but it has a healthy features list, like a wireless charging pad, which is new for 2023, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and a sunroof too. The full specs are in my written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. Despite the boxier shape, cute is still the adjective that comes to mind when you look at this car. It's small and should fit in most garages because it's only 4,040 millimeters long. Our model has been finished in Atlas White, but you do get a two-tone color option if you want, which changes the roof color just to add some more personality. That does remove the sunroof if you choose that option though. And in a strange design choice, there's halogen headlights instead of LEDs, which does make it obvious with all the other LEDs across the car. The interior is pleasing to look at, but simplistic. And you can see that with the traditional leanings of the gear shifter, handbrake, and the buttons and dials. Still, I really love the white accents around the gear shifter and the vents, as well as the contrasting piping and stitching on the seats. It does add some fun factor. The head and legroom is great for my 168 centimeter or 5'6" height. You will be jostling for premium position on the armrest, but otherwise it's quite comfortable. The door apertures are narrow, which may annoy you if you have the steering wheel popped out. The seats adjust manually, but are fairly comfortable. They do lack lumbar support, which you will notice on a longer trip. The storage throughout the car is pretty average for a car of this size, and I do like the little shelf in front of the passenger. The tech won't confuse you, and it's easy to get your smartphone connected to the Bluetooth and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Surprisingly though, on the lower grades you get wireless CarPlay, which is new for 2023, but on this grade, the top grade, you only get wired. I've never been a fan of a trailing cable in a cabin, especially one this small, because it just looks messy. The updated 4.2-inch digital instrument panel looks good but isn't customizable. I do love all the charging ports that you've got up front, like the USB-A and C port, plus the 12-volt port too. It's tight back here. I have enough room when I'm sitting like this, but don't have enough when I'm sitting behind my driving position. Kudos though to the rising roofline, because headspace is no issue. The 170mm ground clearance makes it a very easy car to get in and out of, which is great. The amenities back here though are very lean. You only get 2 USB-C ports and a netted mat pocket, and a couple of very skinny drink bottle holders in the doors. That's it. You can throw a kid back here if you need to. My 6-year-old and his harness booster seat fit, but it just fit. I would be considering this back seat really just as extra storage space or the occasional seat to ferry a passenger in. The boot is a solid size for this SUV at 355 litres. You can adjust the floor too if you need a deeper space, and underneath the floor you get a Space Saver spare tyre. This doesn't come with a powered tailgate, but honestly you don't need it. The Elite has a 1.6 litre 4-cylinder petrol drivetrain with a maximum output of 90 kilowatts and 151 newton meters of torque. With the 6-speed auto transmission and underpowered engine, it can feel rough on the open road when you have to put your foot down. And sounds it too. There are a lot of complaints from underneath the hood, but this isn't the sort of car that you're going to do the Daytona 500 in. The engine is pretty gutless on the open road, but this is happiest when it's going 70 kilometers per hour or less. But it does that range very well. There is some roll in this when you tackle corners, but once you get used to how you drive it, it's not going to bother you too much. The compact size and the 10.2 meter turning circle makes it very easy to navigate tight city streets, which is awesome. At high speeds, the cabin does get quite loud with wind and road noise, but that just re-establishes that it is a city dweller, and perfectly fine at lower speeds. You can chat without interruption. The ride comfort is good, but when you do hit bumps, you do feel quite connected to the road. Short-lived though because of the short wheelbase. The winning feature for this car is definitely the size because you can practically fit it anywhere. The reversing camera though isn't the best. Hyundai is usually all over this tech, but the reversing camera image is actually quite grainy. The efficiency is decent considering how hard you have to drive this to wring out its power. The official combined fuel figure is 7.2 litres per 100 kilometres, and I achieved the same according to the Trip computer. Not too shabby, but there are hybrid versions for the Venue's rivals now, so it would be good to see one for this as well. This has a 45 litre fuel tank, and based off the official combined figure, you should be able to get around 625 kilometres driving range, which is good. This little SUV has some good safety features included, like the driver attention alert that monitors your driving via the steering wheel and the new for 2023 check rear occupant alert. However, the Venue was only awarded a 4-star ANCAP safety rating from testing done in 2019. It lost a star because of the forward collision system, which had a lower ability to detect rear-end impacts with the car in front. This did lower the scores for the safety assist and vulnerable road user to just 62%. Now that is something to consider considering the traffic and the urban setting that you're going to be driving this in. This only has 6 airbags, but that does include curtain airbags that cover the back row. The full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The ongoing costs for the Venue are good. It comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is standard for the class. You can also pre-purchase cap price servicing plans for up to 5 years or 75,000 kilometres. On the 5-year plan, services average $315, which is very competitive. Servicing intervals are also really good at 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. The Hyundai Venue Elite is a sweet-looking compact SUV that should suit a driver who is just looking for an A to B sort of car in the city, or an empty nester who doesn't want to get flustered by high-end tech and wants their buttons and dials where they expect them to be. The safety could be better, but it's the sort of car that you can fit anywhere, so it does suit an urban setting best. So this manages to slide in at 7 out of 10. If you're after more details, check out my full written review at carsguide.com.au. I'll see you next week.